met raad en saam, met lyding en hoop, verdriet en saam staan jy staan. Jy is altyd daar. Dit wat ons doen, ons liefdes, ons vreugdes, ons plekke, ons thuisdes, tot daar waar ons reis, jy is daar. Afrikaans is ons wese, dis die taal waarin ons groeit, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Al verander straatname, al word helde laat val, ons is steeds deur ons arm, ons kultuur, ons verhaal, dit sal altyd bestaan. Afrikaans is ons wese, dis die taal waarin ons groeit, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Ons is daarmee gebore, die taal waarvoor ons staan, dit vloei deur ons are, ons kinders praat het saam, dit sal altyd bestaan. Afrikaans is ons wese, dis die taal waarin ons groeit, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is. Dis die taal waarin ons groeit, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Afrikaans vir ons mense. Afrikaans vir my mense. Afrikaans vir ons mense.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down.
Alright, here we are, folks.
Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up.
Welcome back once again. This is Chris Report, and he assured me that Simonstown and Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa. Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Hey, how's it hanging, folks? Welcome back to the program. It's Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. That's right. It's Chris live in central Pennsylvania. I see Chris has updated the avatar and the username. Congratulations, you sorted that one out there. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Been a busy day here once again. A conversation this morning with none other than Mark Oppenheimer, talking about South African general and his new role as president of the Institute of Race Relations in South Africa. After that, we just had an interview with Notokela, who is a candidate for office for parliament for the Action SA party. Congratulations to her for that. And let me say hello to everybody in the chat before we get started. So Chris is here. Hester, Pierre Orban, Emil Therrett, Erica, John Huchin's in from Arizona, Ance is back, Gus, George Steinberg, and Marilyn Brokenshaw. I think that's everybody in the chat. We got to start drawing more viewers in here, folks. I mean, we really do. By the way, for those who don't know, I mentioned it yesterday, and several of my viewers keep updating me. I think they haven't caught the news in a few days. Dupree van Heerden tragically succumbed to injuries sustained falling into a fire back in March, passed away this past Friday. So thoughts and prayers to his family. Dupree van Heerden, a guest on this program and a generous person who invited me to go buh-bye with him and hang out at his place. I didn't get a chance to do that last trip, and now I'll never get to do that. That's unfortunate. So yet another person whom we've met on the program who has passed away. So, yeah. Thanks for being here, folks. We've got news to talk about as usual. There's Flushing in from the 15-minute city of... Hey, Lee Roberts is back, and there he is. Okay, Lee, good to see you there. Yep, speaking of Tresemme and of course, Dupree van Heerden, so the man with all the last names. Let's give you an update on that building collapse in George in the Western Cape. Let me see if I can get an update here. Last information I had, which is a couple hours ago now, it says that 5 people. Okay, now they've just changed. Now they have to ruin it with a Ramaphosa line. So we don't really care what Ramaphosa has to say. 5 people have died in the building. 5 people. Yep. Yep. So it's really tragic. Alan Windy said the provincial government is not considering declaring a provincial disaster, but is committed to supply whatever. Yeah, well, it's not a provincial disaster. It's a building that's collapsed. Windy introduced structural engineers who will be investigating the cause of the building's collapse. Western Cape Local Government and Environmental Affairs MEC Anton Bradel said the rescuers are busy talking to a person. They're close to getting him out. Yeah, I know. Someone we all know is involved in this activity, and that's all I'll say for now. Yep. The second briefing of the day, which occurred 2 hours ago, there were still 47 people trapped. Some have been rescued. It's amazing. Every time I close my eyes, I see it again, says a witness. A George woman who keeps reliving the sound of the trapped workers screaming under 5 stories of concrete in the moments after the building they were working on collapsed. Councillor Teresa J. witnessed the building collapse on 75 workers from a balcony at a municipal office. She said she was standing on the balcony while speaking to her colleague inside the building, which backs into Victoria Street, where the construction was taking place. She noticed that some of the construction crew were working on the roof before turning to look to her colleague for a moment. Wow. Yeah, it's absolutely horrific situation there. Please help us get out, says a trapped survivor beneath the rubble. I'm in so much pain, I don't know if they can hear me banging for help, but I hear my dad's voice calling me. These are the words of Delvin Safers, one of the more than 40 construction workers who were trapped beneath the rubble. Wow, 6 people now reported to have died in that collapse. But at least several people they're trying to rescue. My last update was a few hours ago. Let me see if I've got information on that. Yeah, let me see. No update. I'm just double checking to see. So there are 3 rescues so far today. At least 7 more people reported to be alive in that debris as workers work around the clock now to try to get these people out. Yep. So Shell Oil, Royal Dutch Petroleum, has decided to, in fact, disengage from its operations in South Africa after being there for over a century. Another victim of BEE, although they'll say it's other reasons. The bottom line is BEE plays a major role in why they're leaving. So there you have it. Shell Oil leaving South Africa. Oil major corporation Shell will divest its majority shareholding from a local South African downstream unit after a comprehensive review of its businesses across all regions, according to the company. As a result of this review, Shell has decided to reshape the downstream portfolio and intends to divest our shareholding of SDSA. That's Shell Downstream South Africa. It was formed after Shell and Black Empowerment Company buh-bye Investment Corporation agreed a decade ago to merge Shell South Africa marketing and Shell South Africa refining businesses. buh-bye held a 28% equity stake. Of course, you have to give away money to people who don't earn it, and so they are gone. Shell will keep the upstream operations, but they're quitting the forecourts. Get rid of business that houses 600 service stations. Could this be like BP? British Petroleum has sold off many of its petrol stations in Africa, including those in Botswana, and they were relabeled Puma stations. Is this what's going to happen to Shell? British multinational, it's a Dutch-British multinational, does not aim to exit South Africa, but is disposing of its non-core assets, in other words, petrol stations. Yeah, well, when you control the price of petrol by government decree, how can you expect anybody to make money? This is now a dated story. 5 dead, 49 missing. It's now 6 dead and 47 missing in the devastating building collapse in George. Recovery operations were underway in George following collapse on Monday that's left 6 dead. 25 have been removed from the rubble and 49 unaccounted for. Now it's down to 47, I believe it is. Workers being free from collapsed building with the help of emergency services from as far as Worcester and with gift of the givers. And there you see, once again, as reported yesterday, the aftermath of that building collapse. It's amazing 25 people have been taken out alive. Look at that. And I have photographs as well here and video. Not really sure what this one's about. I'm trying to see. Anyway, yeah, it's a horrific situation unfolding there. Cape Town Fire Department is on the scene, folks. Cape Town Fire Department is on the scene. And, well, since we know that, that's in the press, I can tell you that someone we know is actually there, has gone over to work on it. The electric slide minister, Cinco Ramakopa, says that the lack of load shedding has nothing to do with the elections. Yeah, sure. No load shedding, nothing to do with the lack of election. Yeah, okay. So, no link between elections and load shedding, he claims, in the Mail and Guardian. The country has now been 40 days without load shedding, and as a result, in an orchestrated effort and engineering feat by the team at ESCOM, and not because the government is looking to the elections later this month, says electric slide minister Kojisenso Ramakopa. He told media briefing the ability to avoid load shedding was also because of maintenance last year, as well as a lower peak demand times. You do not earn and recover 5 percentage points suddenly because the day of the elections has been announced. No, but you burn through your diesel budget in record amounts, money that doesn't exist, to keep your gas turbines going illegitimately when you fail to deliver electricity. Take Jacob Zuma off the ballot. So says Jabulani Khumalo, the founder of the MK party. After his expulsion, he wrote to Zuma to tell him he has been placed on precautionary suspension. So Khumalo has told Jacob Zuma that he's on suspension, not that he's been kicked out of the party. Wow. Oh, wow, my goodness. The founder of the newly launched MK party, Jabulani Khumalo, has told the Electoral Commission of South Africa to remove former President Jacob Zuma as the face of the party from its list of potential members of parliament. In his letter to the IEC dated the 5th of May, Khumalo said Zuma fraudulently occupies the positions. In these circumstances, I request urgently the Electoral Commission should remove Mr. Zuma's name as the face of MK party. He should also immediately be removed as president of MK party. He occupies both positions through fraudulent and illegal maneuvers. Wow. Of course, Zuma is number one in the MK list of candidates for the National Assembly. Khumalo fired a salvo by writing the IEC to remove Zuma. He's also written to Zuma to tell him he's been placed in precautionary suspension for what he claims are several acts of misconduct. They're eating each other alive. I love it. It's absolutely brilliant. It's very entertaining as they eat each other alive. So Khumalo told the Independent Electoral Commission that he registered the MK party in September 3rd, 2023, which is a true statement. The Zuma's involvement with the party was merely through consultations and fundraising. That during the consultation it was understood Zuma would not be a member of the party, but he would assist in the election campaign. That's what we all understood. Zuma said he was staying in the ANC, but he was going to vote for MK. Zuma is not a member of the intermittent leadership structure, and there are rumors Zuma was trying to hijack the party, which he said he dismissed. Yeah. So they're eating themselves alive in the MK party. Well, folks, we always hear it, the youth will vote. That's a crock. The youth never vote. It doesn't matter where you're from, folks. The youth don't vote. And statistics are backing that up. About half of South Africa's youth are likely to vote, which is much lower than the rest of the population. 49% of 18 to 24-year-olds say that they're likely to vote later this month. 16% say they won't vote, and 35% say they haven't yet decided. Wow. So much for that youth vote. Counting on that youth vote, don't count on it too hard. The Democratic Alliance remains defiant over its strange advert in which it burned a South African flag. Much ado about nothing, frankly, folks. The DA is facing criticism over its latest election advertisement, which depicts the burning of the South African national flag. The party said the election was about survival, and the advert was intended to stop the corruption of ANC EFF and Mkhonto Sizwe, whose relationship would spell disaster. The advert was launched by DA leader John Steenhuisen Sunday night, with South Africans slamming the burning of the flag portrayed in the advert. However, Steenhuisen was to remain defiant, saying the burning of the flag is symbolic of the doomsday coalition of the ANC EFF. Is the DA stealing my content? Is the DA stealing my content, folks? I mean, after all, who came up with the doomsday coalition scenario? Well, they're saying doomsday, but I called it Armageddon, right? So, who came up with that Armageddon scenario? Right here, folks. Right here. That's right. I came up with that. So, Armageddon, South Africa scenario, ANC, MK, EFF. Came up with that a month ago in my analysis. I noticed that my coalition ideas are percolating throughout the biosphere of South Africa now, and people are using my terms. Anyway, so another farm murder in Glen. We just had the two that were murdered on Friday. Is there another murder there, Nico? We're talking about Glen in the Free State? The DA ever burning the flag is not sitting well with Erica. Okay. Well, if Zuma remains eligible for the election, there is a substantial risk of a disputed electoral outcome, says the Independent Electoral Commission. And I cannot disagree with them. It will be an illegitimate outcome. In June 2021, the Constitutional Court sentenced to Mr. Zuma to 15 months behind bars for contempt of court. According to the Constitution, anyone sentenced for more than 12 months without an option of a fine does not qualify to be a member of the National Assembly for a period of 5 years. We should mention that. Yep, the Electoral Commission of South Africa says there's a substantial risk of a disputed electoral outcome if Zuma is allowed to stand, and has urged the court to urgently rule on his eligibility. Wow. The commission argues that it's in the interest of justice for voters to know whether Zuma qualifies for the election before South Africans go to the poll. 100%. Writing on behalf of the Electoral Court in a ruling that the IEC is now seeking to appeal, Judge Dumasani Zondi found that Zuma could not be said to have been sentenced according to Section 47(1)(e) because he hadn't been able to appeal. Well, that is a flawed part of the Constitution, so it's null and void. 22 workers, now 25 rescued, taken to various hospitals in that George building collapse, folks. Wow. 22 of the workers who were trapped, now this has been updated to 25, have been rescued and transported to hospitals throughout the Western Cape. My goodness. 53 emergency personnel on their way from Cape Town and Worcester Disaster Services. Yep. Well, confused by the ANC's U-turn, led by Fikile Mbalula, the MK party is not sure what's going on here. It referenced the disciplinary hearing for Jacob Zuma. They want a physical hearing, and I agree. He should get a physical hearing, none of this virtual stuff. December 2023, Zuma announced he would back the MK party in the elections. ANC said it would charge Zuma for the move, but has now deferred the date for disciplinary hearing. Former President Jacob Zuma's MK party, through its lawyers, is now pushing for Zuma's disciplinary hearing to sit physically at Luthuli House despite the ANC postponing the process. Wow. So he says, we're very confused. We don't take instructions from Fikile Mbalula. That's MK's lawyer. Well, we don't take instructions from Luthuli House, let alone from Fikile Mbalula. And I can understand why the MK party wants Jacob Zuma to have this disciplinary hearing so he can become a martyr. The ANC punishes him and kicks him out of the ANC, then that will mean another 1 million votes flow to MK. Yeah, that's what they want, and the ANC won't give it to them. We're not going to steal your social grants, so says the DA as it tries to tell people in the Eastern Cape about their benefits. DA Chief Whip Siviwe Garuba says her party is planning to increase child support grants in a bid to fight hunger in children if they win the upcoming general elections. She and other DA leaders inspected social grant pay points in East London on Monday where they interacted with beneficiaries. Well, the DA is finally telling people that social grants don't come from the ANC. They, in fact, come from the government and from the taxpayer who provides it, not the ANC. And regardless of who's in government, these things aren't going away. It's about time the DA started telling people that. Well, that flag ad is really getting a lot of attention here. The Daily Maverick says they want answers to their burning questions. Yep. While I usually enjoy the slick expertise of DA functions and learn a lot about candidate selection when we met its top candidates recently, I was happy to have missed this occasion. Centerpiece of the event was the unveiling of a party's fourth advert, which included the burning of the South African flag as an allegory of what could happen to South Africa if ANC MK government were to govern. So let's see if we can get this here. Put it on mute. So there you go. So ANC will lose its majority, so I guess they burn the flag. We love our flag, and seeing it burn has got many people seething, including the former public protector, Mondesela, and others. Well, that's what's got people up in arms. I wouldn't lose sleep over it, folks. There's a big disparity between arrest and prosecutions, according to an expert. Duh. We're well aware of that. Thank you so much. The story in News 24. Operation Shanela led to the arrest of more than 600,000 people in 1 year. But the ISS, Gareth Newham, says there's a big disparity between arrest and people being charged and prosecuted. Wow. Yep. No, most of these people are never prosecuted. That's the bottom line. It's part of the problem. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has gone and happened. It has gone and happened. Amazon is now available in South Africa, and not Amazon from the U.S. where you have to have an account there and you order it and you pay a fortune for shipping. Amazon now exists in South Africa. You can go create an account on Amazon. There you go. If you want to shop on Amazon instead of Take a Lot, now you have that option. Amazon officially launched its online marketplace in South Africa, although some items are listed as out of stock. You can use the app, or you can visit the amazon.co.za website for their products. Products are fulfilled by Amazon customers will get free delivery on their first order, followed by free delivery for subsequent orders above 500 Rand. It's offering 30-day returns via home pickup and self-drop. From today, customers can count on Amazon for a stress-free shopping experience, fast, reliable delivery, access to 3,000 pickup points, and 24/7 customer service. Easy returns. Customers also enjoy free delivery on their first order. Well, I don't have an amazon.co.za account, so I'll have to get one set up. Yeah, folks, I don't have one. My regular account lets me get into the U.S., Canada, Germany, France, and UK, and I have famously ordered from all 5 Amazon sites on the same day. That's right. I did this several years back, ordering CDs and books from all 5 of those, ordering books and CDs in German and in French. The French came from Canada and from France, and then also books from Germany and from the UK. So 5 in one day. So I went to the site today, and I didn't try to log in with my account. I should do that and see what happens. But amazon.co.za. So now I can put a wish list on of all the gifts you want to give me. And I can pick them up when I come to South Africa. Oh, just kidding. But yeah, amazon.co.za is live, folks. It's live. Let's see how it does. Let's see how Amazon does in the South African market. Walmart has found it not such easy sliding. Officially live. U.S.-based e-commerce giant launched its online South African store last night. It's now possible to make purchases from Amazon on the South African store with pricing in Rand. Some products are, however, still temporarily out of stock. Yep, so there you go. All right, now be careful when you go to Amazon if you're shopping on it for the first time, because not everything is from Amazon. Some things are from third-party sellers. You need to be very careful about that. Make sure that you're getting it from Amazon, fulfilled by or provided by Amazon. Comedian Leon Schuster, Mr. Bones, has gone through another operation and he's not doing well. Expressed that he is not in a good place following his second surgery after he fell at his house while still recovering from the first surgery. Underwent his first surgery in August of last year after falling from a van and injuring himself while filming Mr. Bones 3. After the surgery, the 72-year-old veteran entertainer went through extensive physiotherapy to learn to walk again. My goodness, that must have been really bad. He said, I've been through a rough patch, man, through absolute hell. I'm a bit depressed. This thing has been going on too long. It's almost 10 months since my first back surgery. He told the publication that the second fall happened after he woke up confused and didn't know where he was. Folks, let's give it up for Leon Schuster. He said, I got up, I wet my pants, stepped in the urine, and fell on my back. Then I felt a tremendous pain. I felt as though they could cut off my back and give the bones to the dogs. Just lay there and scream. Wow. He said, I'm not in a good place, but I'm in a grateful place, and that's why I try to lie here in a straight position to keep my spirits up with a bit of lightheartedness. Yep. Doctors said they can only take away 50% of my pain. Wow. With the surgery. Well, thoughts and prayers for Leon Schuster, who's given many of us many entertaining days. Black, white, and brown South Africans and foreigners have enjoyed his comedy in the past. Disgraced former Springbok Elton Jantjies released a cryptic video over the weekend in which he said, he'll be back. I'll be back. A la Arnold Schwarzenegger. Former Springboks fly half Elton Jantjies claims he'll be back playing rugby sooner than you think after a suspension for using doping. He's been linked to a return to action with the Lions next season after the World Anti-Doping Agency suspended the accreditation of the South African Doping Control Laboratory in Bloemfontein. The lab is believed to have been the same one that produced the results that led to Jantjies' ban. So, is Elton Jantjies innocent? Perhaps of doping. He may very well be innocent of doping, but he's not innocent on other areas. Of course, Elton Jantjies famously involved in all sorts of brouhaha with a physio and with some other things. He said, the 30-year-old claims to have evidence against a lot of organizations who are not doing it the right way. Yes, I want to play rugby. Yes, I want to do what I love, but it creates opportunities for me. Yep. Well, the text of a ceasefire proposal in Gaza is on the table. Hamas apparently agreeing to a deal that lays out a timetable for release of Israeli captives in Gaza and withdrawal of Israeli troops from the territory. Now, before I go looking at this, I will tell you that it is unbelievably complex and ridiculous, and this should be the only peace proposal that Hamas agrees to. The immediate and unconditional surrender of all Hamas terrorists and the release of all hostages. Immediate. That should be the only terms that apply. But no, look at this nonsense. So, it goes on. Israel said it does not agree with the proposal, but it will engage in further talks to secure an agreement. So, the first stage is 42 days. 42 days. In just 48 hours, Hamas terrorists invaded invaded Israel and murdered 1,200 people, kidnapped over 250 others. But they want 42 days for phase one. All aviation in the Gaza Strip shall cease for 10 hours a day and for 12 hours on the days when captives and prisoners are being exchanged. On the third day after release, Israeli forces withdraw completely from Al-Rashid Street in the east. Humanitarian aid shall be allowed. On the 22nd day, displaced people, humanitarian aid relief. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Scheduling, these are all conditions. Hamas shall release all living Israeli female soldiers. In return, Israel shall release 50 prisoners for every Israeli female soldier based on lists provided by Hamas. Are you frickin' serious? So Hamas is demanding that they have 50 terrorists released for every female Israeli soldier who's probably been gang raped the entire time that she's been in captivity. Are you serious? This is not a peace deal. This is a joke. This is a joke. Wow. On the 22nd day, Israel shall release all prisoners from the Shalit deal who have been rearrested. This is a joke. This is not a peace agreement. Second stage, 42 days. Third stage, 42 days. This is from Qatar, Egypt, the United States, United Nations. No, I don't think so. Well, Chinese authorities are in hot water after painting their dogs to look like panda cubs and trying to hoodwink grubes who visited the zoo. Chinese zoo sparks fury after painting chow chow dogs to look like pandas for their latest attraction. A zoo in China sparked fury after unveiling its new panda dogs attraction in a somewhat misleading bid to draw in crowds. The Taizhou Zoo in Xinjiang province revealed its latest attraction last week, an exhibit featuring two small chow chow dogs that had allegedly been dyed by zookeepers to look like panda bears. And their fur trimmed short before black and white dye was added to their face and body. It drew a large crowd on the debut May 1st, but the attraction was quickly slammed by locals who accused the zoo of animal cruelty. However, a local pet beautician said natural dyes are suitable for most pets, but to avoid any products with chemicals. Oh, my goodness. Said it presented the panda dogs to the public since they don't have any of the actual animals for visitors to see. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Annette Appel says Netanyahu said neither U.S. or Israel agreed to this deal. Israel hasn't, and I'm not aware of the U.S. agreeing to it, but Al Jazeera listed in the report there that the U.S. agreed to it. I haven't seen any confirmation of that. Oh, my goodness. They painted their dogs. Well, Vladimir Putin will serve yet again after corrupting the means of governance in Russia. Vladimir Putin will continue now with yet another term as the Russian Federation president, inaugurated for his 5th term in a ceremony that highlighted his quarter-century grip on power in Russia. In a gilded Andreshevsky Hall of the Grand Kremlin Palace, where Russian czars were once crowned, Vladimir Putin on Tuesday swore an oath of allegiance on Russia's constitution at his inauguration for a 5th term as president. Traditional pomp and ceremony conveyed his might as Russia's supreme uncontested leader for the past quarter century. Bristling with optimism about his ongoing war with Ukraine, Putin, 71 years of age, declared he would place Russia's security above all else and promised the country would be victorious. Wow. Good luck with that, Vlad. Not happening anytime soon. Well, a female dart player in the UK refused to play against a transgender dart player and therefore had to forfeit the game. Good for her. Dita Hedman said she didn't want to compete against a transgender athlete. British female darts player Dita Hedman refused to play against transgender competitor in the Denmark Open over the weekend and removed herself from the competition. Hedman was set to face Noah Lynn van Leuven in the quarterfinals of the tournament, but opted to not play instead and forfeited. Hedman pushed back on reports she pulled out of the match due to illness and also declined compensation she may have lost due to her decision. No fake illness. I said I wouldn't play a man in the ladies' event, Hedman wrote on Twitter. She added, this subject's causing much angst in the sport I love. People can be whoever they want in life, but I don't think biological born men should compete in women's sport. And I agree with you 100%. Dita Hedman. Yep. Van Leuven eventually lost to Bo Graves in the semifinals. Van Leuven told The Guardian last year that the transition began at the age of 16. As Van Leuven started to move into women's competitive darts, the backlash began. Well, there you go. Detta, congratulations to you for standing up for what you believe in. Columbia Law School students send a menacing email to Jewish classmates. You threaten everybody's safety, these scumbags. An anti-Israeli student group at Columbia Law School sent a threatening email on Friday telling Jewish students that they will be neither safe nor free until everyone is safe and Palestine is free. This is domestic terrorism, and it's also a threat. The people behind this letter should be arrested and prosecuted for their terroristic threats. And they should be expelled from Columbia. And the organization they're part of should be disbanded as a student organization. Columbia's chapter of the National Lawyers Guild, a radical group that has defended Hamas' attack on Israel, put out a statement condemning the school for calling in the NYPD to clear out an occupied building. The statement also told Jews that they are not safe and accused Jewish students who opposed divestment of threatening everyone's safety. To the Jewish students, faculty, and trustees blocking divestment, urging the violent crackdowns on campus, you threaten everyone's safety. Our safety cannot be predicated on the oppression of others. The warning to Jews was attributed to Jewish members of the National Lawyers Guild chapter. Really? Well, I'll tell you what. This is an organization that should be under criminal prosecution. Yep. Witnesses say that Trump did not personally ask him to carry out hush money payments. A former Trump Organization controller took the witness stand yesterday. A witness in President Trump's New York hush money trial appeared to confirm his attorney's claims that payments at the center of the case were legal expenses and that he was not personally directed by the former president to make those payments. Former Trump Organization controller Jeffrey McConney testified that payments sent to former attorney Michael Cohen were legal expenses, confirming defense attorney's arguments. So can we end this nonsense now? Michael Cohen was a lawyer, Trump's defense attorney asked. Mr. Coney replied, sure, yes. Mr. Bove asked, and payments to lawyers by the Trump Organization are legal expenses, right? Mr. Coney replied, yes. Later, Mr. McConaughey said President Trump and Trump Organization official Alan Weisselberg never told him to log the payments to Mr. Cohen as legal expenses. Mr. Trump did not ask you to do any of the things you just described. He did not. Wow. And Mr. Bove asked, as far as you know, President Trump did not ask anyone to do those things. In none of the conversations you had with Weisselberg did he suggest that President Trump had told him to do these things. Alan never told me that. Wow. So there you have it. Lies and malicious prosecution as the witness testifies that Trump never did those things that he was accused of. So can we end this stupidity now? Can we end this stupidity now? I doubt it, but we should. Students from abroad who are committing violent acts on campus should be deported. Biden has urged act against terrorist sympathizers. Washington Times reports that some of those involved in the unruly campus protests against Israel are guests of the U.S. on foreign student visas, and pressure is mounting on Biden to start revoking those visas. Experts said the administration has the tools. The Republicans are demanding Mr. Biden show the will. We put people on planes and send them back to El Salvador for being here illegally. Why can't we put people on planes and send them back for being arrested for violence on university campuses, said Emilio Gonzalez. Yep, agreed. There's a sure way to stop these pro-Hamas protesters and tracks, treat them like the terrorist sympathizers they are, and deport those on student visas, said Senator Marsha Blackburn. Joe Biden needs to stop pandering to his far-left base and start taking the morally correct action as the President of the United States to defend Jewish students on college campuses. 100%. 100%. 13 federal judges, according to the Washington Free Beacon, now say that they will not accept graduates of the Columbia Law School. Yep. Citing virulent spread of anti-Semitism and the explosion of student disruptions. 13 federal judges said yesterday they would no longer hire law clerks from Columbia College or Columbia Law School after the university allowed an encampment on its lawn to spiral into a destructive occupation of the campus. The judges cited the explosion of student disruptions and the virulent spread of anti-Semitism at Columbia, which has now canceled its main graduation. Led by appellate judges James Ho and Elizabeth Branch, who spearheaded the clerkship boycott of the Yale Law School in 2022 and Stanford in 2023. Wow, they wrote a letter. Freedom of speech protects protest, not trespass, and certainly not acts of threats or violence of terrorism, the judges wrote. It has become clear that Columbia applies double standards when it comes to free speech and student misconduct. And 100% the case. Ohio University, UCLA, Stanford, all of these schools apply double standards. They harass conservatives and shut down their speech and ban speakers and cancel speakers, but allow terrorists and terrorist sympathizers to operate on their campuses. Absolutely. Well, the clock is ticking, ladies and gentlemen. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Despite the fact that during the 1980s, the Reagan administration and Congress doubled the rate of taxation for Social Security, the biggest Ponzi scheme in history, despite the fact they doubled it, the theft of those funds by Congress for the past 35 years since that event means there's no damn money in Social Security. And by 2033, beneficiaries will lose 21% of the benefits. I haven't even started collecting it. I've been paying into it for 40 years, and I'm already going to see a reduction in benefits when I paid the maximum amount in Social Security for a period of 15 years. And I'm going to get jack squat out of it. This is because of the criminals in Congress who steal and put this in the general treasury instead of in the Social Security trust fund. Ladies and gentlemen, a dark day is coming indeed. I never count on Social Security, so I'm prepared for this day. The clock is ticking to fix Social Security as retirees face automatic cut in 9 years. Congress is less than a decade to fix Social Security before the popular program runs short of cash, threatening sharp cuts and benefits for nearly 60 million retirees and family members. Well, there you go. There you go. 21% cut in benefits coming by 2033. And a similar situation with Medicare is coming as well. Well, the California Supreme Court in a 7-0 decision, has said that police can't simply arrest you for being suspicious. Cannot be detained just for trying to avoid the police. California Supreme Court issued a 7-0 ruling on policing in the state. It's a confusing ruling. I'm not really sure what the outcome of this will be. Last week, the state's high court wrote that the fact that a person appears to be concealing him or herself or acting nervously cannot be the only reason for an officer to detain a person. Well, of course it can't be. It does provide relevant context, but you have to have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. Yep. You have to have probable cause. Well, Jeff Duncan, the sad, pathetic former lieutenant governor of Georgia, the rhino, says, why I'm voting for Joe Biden. See, this is what happens to the Republicans. They're not really Republicans. Why I'm voting for Biden, and other Republicans should too. Donald Trump has disqualified himself through his conduct and his character, and Jeff Duncan has disgraced himself through his lies and leading statements. It's disappointing to watch an increasing number of Republicans fall in line behind former President Trump. This includes some of the fiercest detractors, such as U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Chris Sununu, and former U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr, who raised eyebrows during a recent interview by vowing to support the Republican ticket. This mentality is dead wrong. So you are dead wrong, Mr. Duncan. You're a complete idiot. Joe Biden is a criminal. He is an incompetent president, and you're going to support and vote for him? Just don't go vote. Just don't go vote. That's your protest. You don't like Trump? Don't vote. But don't vote for Biden. That's disgraceful. You call yourself a Republican? You're certainly not one. Trump witnesses says his home was swatted the day he testified in hush money trial. David Pecker, a key witness in former President Trump's criminal hush money trial, was swatted when he gave his testimony. In an April 25th email to a local newspaper, a person under the name Jamal said they tied up his wife and killed someone at the address of Pecker's home in Greenwich, Connecticut. Swatting is an increasingly popular tactic of filing a false report with the intention of triggering a potentially dangerous response from law enforcement. He said, I effed up really bad, Jamal wrote. Please help me. Greenwich police were already outside Pecker's home as a precaution due to his involvement in the high-profile case. A check revealed no emergency. Officials on both sides have fallen victim of swatting in recent months. So this is yet more leftist interference with the Trump trial. We've got the whole thing falling apart everywhere. We've already seen Fani Willis exposed for the fraud that she is. We've already seen her misconduct in the conduct of the trial in Georgia. We've seen misconduct in the case of the FBI and Jack Smith against Donald Trump in the so-called classified documents case. Both of those cases are going to completely disappear because the conduct of the people who have gone after the president, none of whom is beyond reproach. And that's a mistake when you're on the political left and you hire operatives like this who are not above reproach to prosecute the president based on fraudulent charges. People are going to start looking for their behavior and find it. So this witness was swatted and his wife's life put in jeopardy while he was testifying in the case for Donald Trump. You see the conduct of these people? They will stop at nothing. They will stop at nothing. And you know where I'm going with this. I'm not going to say it. Well, the clown in chief, none other than Letitia James, she's accused of a witch hunt after suing pro-life pregnancy centers. Heartbeat International sued for false advertising about abortion pill reversal. Yeah, Ms. James said the Heartbeat and its 11 New York-based centers violated state law against deceptive practices. Abortions cannot be reversed. Any treatments that claim to do so are made without scientific evidence and would be unsafe, she claimed. Heartbeat International and the other crisis pregnancy centers defendants are spreading dangerous misinformation by advertising abortion reversals without any medical and scientific proof. Well, for their part, Heartbeat and other pro-life groups had sought to block a lawsuit after Ms. James issued a 22 April notice of intention to sue, accusing her of seeking to silence her political foes with false charges. Today, New York Attorney General Letitia James has decided to proceed full steam ahead with her witch hunt against New York pregnancy help organizations. Delivering on her threat of lawfare against our life-affirming clients, Ms. James has filed a baseless lawsuit in Manhattan where none of our clients are located to unconstitutionally silence their pro-life message. In doing so, she's seeking to keep in the dark women who desire to urgently try to continue their pregnancies. So, using the law to shut down free speech, according to Heartbeat. Title IX rule changes, yet more disgrace happening in America. 1972 law which protected women's sports. 15 states have suing the Biden regime for changes to the 1972 civil rights law. Yep. The rule change published on April 19th formalized the Department of Education's redefinition of the meaning of sex to include gender identity. It is not. This is a violation. They have no authority to do this whatsoever. They cannot change law by changing a policy. This is criminal. The Biden regime needs to stop doing this. You cannot change the 1972 Title IX law by altering policy and identifying biological males as women. This is criminal activity, and it's perpetrated every single day by this corrupt regime in Washington, D.C. Unbelievable. Starliner launch last night was delayed, and it may go up on Friday. We'll see. Boeing spacecraft was due to take its inaugural flight with crew Monday night, carrying astronauts to the International Space Station. However, there was a problem. The problem that officials identified involved an oxygen valve on part of the United Launch Alliance's Atlas V rocket that was used to maintain pressure in a tank that holds liquid oxygen, which is used as a propellant mixture for the vehicle. Astronauts Butch Wilmore, Sunita Williams on Monday. It wasn't made clear if the launch could be attempted during backup dates, which include a slot Tuesday evening and later in the week. But right now it looks like it may be Friday. Delays are not unusual at space launches, but this is the first crewed mission, and I'd be a little nervous if I was either one of those astronauts. I'm just saying. Boeing gets hit with a fresh Federal Aviation Administration investigation. This time it's for the 787 Dreamliner. Oh my goodness. The problems at Boeing just keep manifesting. This is frightening, folks. The newest probe is looking into inspection requirements on the jets, the 787, one of my favorite aircraft as a passenger. Aviation safety authorities have opened a new investigation into Boeing, this time related to inspection requirements on the jet maker's 787 Dreamliner and whether employees falsified records. My goodness, Boeing was down nearly 1%. They voluntarily informed the agency last month that it may not have completed required inspections to confirm adequate bonding and grounding where the wings join the fuselage. Well, that's disturbing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner is a carbon fiber composite, not made from aluminum. And these plastic wings are bonded onto the fuselage. So they're not confirming the inspection. This is scary. This is scary. The FAA said that Boeing is now re-inspecting all 787 airplanes within its production system and must also create a plan to address those in service, which are all over the world. Ethiopian Airlines has 787s. I've flown on 787s. Wow. Shares of Boeing's have lost 32% this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I predict a buying opportunity, but not yet. Not yet. More bad news coming from Boeing, but you might want to consider looking at Boeing stock. Bernie Sanders, yes, this useless tit of a clown senator is running for a fourth term at 82 years of age. 82-year-old Bernie Sanders announced Monday he will seek another term in office. Let me thank the people of Vermont from the bottom of my heart for giving me the opportunity to serve them in the United States Senate. It's been the honor of my life. Today I'm announcing my intention to seek another term, and here's why. Because I'm a craven political actor, says Bernie Sanders. No, he didn't say that. A Las Vegas substitute teacher who beat the living crap out of a student after purportedly being called a racial slur is in trouble. Incident happened at Valley High School in eastern Las Vegas on April 25th. Rickron Smith faces charges of battery and assault on a school pupil as a result. Altercation was called on camera by a Valley High School student. Substitute teacher allegedly punched the student after being hit with a racial slur. I like how they say hit after being called a racial slur. He wasn't hit. Yep, altercation was called on camera. Cuffed after the hallway sprawl, Smith was released on Friday in anticipation of a court date of May 28th, where he'll enter pleas for charges of interfering with a student attending school and being a threat to a student. Student allegedly lost consciousness briefly after being punched and is said to have been taken to the hospital for treatment. Wow. And there is the substitute teacher who assaulted a student. No impulse control. Do something, the student responds before allegedly hitting the substitute with a racial slur. In the interview with police, Smith confirmed he had punched the student after the minor called him a racial slur before being locked up overnight and posting bail. Cops confirmed he will be removed from the district's substitute teacher pool no matter the outcome of the upcoming case, making him no longer eligible to teach again. Well, thank God. I mean, this adult, which is twice the size of that kid, punches him in front of all these other students. We don't need violent offenders like that. Because you were called a name, grow up and have a little bit of impulse control. Well, this court will have to consider a jail sanction. So threatens the corrupt judge in, well, is he corrupt? I don't know. You tell me. So threatens the judge in the Donald Trump case. Monday morning, acting judge Juan Merchan held Donald Trump in contempt, claiming he violated the gag order for a 10th time. I find you in criminal contempt for the 10th time, the judge told Trump. Going forward, this court will have to consider jail time. Wow. Merchan said that incarceration is truly a last resort to protect the dignity of the judicial system. Mr. Trump, it's important you understand the last thing I want to do is put you in jail. You're the former president of the United States and possibly the next president as well. Well, of course, Mr. Merchan, we don't believe you for a heartbeat. We know you want to put Donald Trump in jail. And quite frankly, at this point, I think Trump is angling to be put in jail so he can become a martyr. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This judge who violates the defendant's First Amendment rights, who is excluding evidence that's exculpatory, that would prove Donald Trump's innocence, tells us he doesn't want to incarcerate the president. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. A man who tried to shoot a pastor during church services, but his gun wouldn't fire. Thank goodness for that. Can you imagine that? They found a dead body in his home, too. The world is crazy. This is here in Pennsylvania, folks. A man who told investigators he tried to shoot a pastor during a service in Pennsylvania church because God told him to do it was thwarted when the gun he pointed didn't fire and was tackled by a congregant. Wow. The chaos at the Jesus Dwelling Place Church in North Braddock took place Sunday while the service was being live streamed. Bernard J. Polite, 26, of Braddock, entered the church after 1 p.m. and walked toward the front while the Reverend Glenn Germany was giving a sermon. The pastor told the TV station in Pittsburgh that Polite smiled at him, then made eye contact just before Polite pointed a gun at him. Germany ducked out of the way as a male congregant tackled Polite. Polite said, God told me to do it. He planned to shoot Germany and wait to be arrested so he'd go to jail and clear his mind. Good Lord. The body of a shooting victim was found in a home near the church where Polite had been shortly before going to church. The county medical examiner's office identified the body as Derek Polite, but did not say if he was related to Bernard Polite. Polite is not known at the church, said he wandered over the church after hearing music coming from there. I'm feeling grateful that I woke up this morning and that I'm here. I could have gone the opposite direction, Germany told the Associated Press, but God intervened. I'm grateful for him. Well, a congregant intervened and you're alive because of that. What a crazy world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. This sort of nonsense takes place. People walking into churches and synagogues and mosques and just shooting people. It's sick. The latest chapter of Fiona's book is out. You can watch it there. She has a link. What's wrong with Pennsylvania, especially Pittsburgh? Well, Pittsburgh's run by leftists. That's what's wrong with it. But I don't know. Explain what's wrong with that guy. James Bowie's here. Welcome. Hood teacher is done. No more school. Correct. Transgender movement started when a plastic surgeon made a mistake during a circumcision. I didn't know that. Yeah, Boeing is scary now. Gender ID is sex. Ask me, I'll explain. All right, what else we got here? Hospitals in South Africa are terrible. Now the government wants to do away with private hospitals and force national health insurance. That's correct, Eric. That's a true statement there. Gypsy Backpackers here. Mark Sayers. Hey, Mark, good to see you again. And then who else we got? Christo Zonda. Welcome to you, Christo. And who else we got in there? Chris Ayler's already got Chris. Nick Muller. I think we missed. Gus is here. And Annette Appel. Welcome, Annette. And I think I'm caught up in the chat. There you go. Folks, I've got a headache again today, and I can only attribute it to the pollen. That's got to be the pollen that's really wreaking havoc. We have more rain. I need to cut the grass, but it's wet. Yeah, the rain has just been something else. Past few days, crappy weather. Oh, excuse me. But I keep getting a headache every day, and I suspect it's from the pollen. The pollen here in Pennsylvania has not bothered me in the years I've lived here. I've never had a problem with it. But this year, we had massive amount of rain at the beginning of April, and the consequence is now that a month later, all of these trees are blooming with huge amount of pollen. It's everywhere. My car is black. Every time I walk out, it looks like a yellow car. It looks like my shirt. There's so much pollen on it. And that stuff is affecting people with asthma and affecting people with emphysema and affecting people who have allergies to the pollen. I've never been affected by it before, but man, my face winds up burning, the skin itching a lot. And I think that's why I'm getting a headache as well. The world has gone absolutely nuts, James. It has. But not here on Chris Wyatt Africa. We haven't gone nuts here. We're doing lots of interviews. Let me just run through some of the interviews we've done recently. Let me see, on the live streams here. So let's go back a few days. And in the past several days, we started on the 30th of April with Referendum Party Chief of Staff Joan Swart. She was on the program. Then we had on the 1st of May, the United Independent Movement's Vice President, Fatima Abdul. And then also on May 1st, we had Referendum Party candidate Robert King. We had Kay Nako on May 1st as well. Busy day that was. Then on May 5th, on Sunday, we had Johan Bosman from LTV Tech about solar photovoltaic safety. And then on the same day, we had Neil DeBeer, and that one's actually got 2,246 views. Thanks for the people coming in for that after the fact. I really appreciate that. Thanks. And I think we've gained a few subscribers. 3 subscribers as a consequence of it. It'd be nice if we got 3,000, but yep. So we've got a lot of views after it was over. So that was Neil DeBeer. And then after Neil DeBeer, we had Neil Athol Trollope yesterday, but you won't find it under the past lives because that broadcast started. Athol was unable to join us because he had no connection, no data, no mobile connection. So we did breaking news on the building collapse in George. That video is still up in its entirety, but I've relabeled it and said breaking news building collapse. And then I edited the video to include just the interview with Athol Trollope, which is 44 minutes. That is listed as a video, which I've uploaded, so you can check that out that way. Then we had Donald Brown, a candidate for the referendum party. This morning we had Mark Oppenheimer, a advocate of the Constitutional Court, a current president of the Institute of Race Relations in South Africa, and a member of the board of directors, I believe board of directors at University of Cape Town. And then we just had Notakela Makliso, who is a candidate for the Action SA party. So there you go. Upcoming, I've got on Thursday, Dr. Corne Mulder from the Freedom Front Plus. We're not going to get Peter Hernevald. His schedule will not allow for it. We have other candidates coming up. I'm waiting to hear back from some other folks. I did get a response from Dr. Kenneth Mishwe from ACDP, and I'm waiting to hear back from him. So, yeah, so that would be great to do. A post on X from Wendy, building collapsed here in George for the people. No, there aren't 22 dead. Is that what Alan Wendy put on there? That's not true. Is it? Is it true? 22 are dead? I don't think it pulled 22 bodies out of there. Alison Johnson's here. Christos Onda says Freedom Front Plus 100%. All right, well, yep. And Fiona's thanking me for plugging your chapter. No, it's my pleasure, Fiona. A lovely lady. I took a lot of grief and pain for interviewing you, but I'll do it again. Happy to do it again. Yep. So, anyway. That was an enjoyable experience, linking up at that Costa Coffee and having that interview. Chris says, psychologist John Money was the engineer when he worked with Bruce Peter Raymer. I don't know what we're talking about there, Chris. Okay. Yeah, it is the third live stream for today. That's true. Third live stream for today. Yep. So tomorrow is Wednesday. I'll have Wednesdays with the Colonel, with Ronaldo, unless something comes up. He scolded people for posting that. Okay, thank you for that. That makes more sense. Yeah, so I didn't report false information. I reported and was clear about what the source was as I gave those things. I did have on-the-scene information, and I didn't provide that source. But the stuff that's in the media, I told you where it came from. Yep. Oh, yes, they will lose their crap again if I interview Fiona. Those people are just evil, 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 nasty people. So, is that even still around? Let me look and see. Hang on. Come on. I haven't even seen that in a while, so let's see if they're there. Yep, no, it's still around. The latest version has 5,500 subscribers. Oh, 2 weeks ago they talked to Peter Hammond and Des Palm, Corne Mulder, Jack Miller, Robert King. The Loving Life Experiment, Ronaldo, 4 years ago. Most of these are about Loving Life disappearing. Ronaldo did it a year ago. Wow. Sorry, I just had to go look, see what's going on there. I was a little distracted by that. Welcome, folks, who are just tuning in. Garrett Wendy is woke, own idiot, reading alphabet stories in school. I don't know who that is. Yeah, no, I haven't talked to Vine DeToy in a while because I was busy with the campaign. It is time to get him back on. Yep. Anonymous Lex, did you see the DA's ad video? People throwing a fit, but they can't see the metaphor. Yeah, no, Anonymous Lex, I saw that. It's a lot of much ado about nothing. Yeah, it's just silly. You are keeping things in a row, Colonel. Well done. Thank you, Dylan. I'm trying. Okay. Yeah, no, it's a lot of ants loving lies. Exactly. Yeah, no. Yes, Eric, I can't believe that you believed in it. Well, people are... Look, I mean, let me explain some things here, folks, okay? So, and some of this went for some of the people who watched my program from the very beginning, too. People are desperate for something that addresses their concerns, their wants, their needs. And in an increasingly confusing world, people want to latch on to something. That explains why some people watch my program at the beginning and why some people still hang on to it. But the difference here is that I don't lie to you. I don't mislead you. and I've never asked you for anything. Ever. Other than, an interview or something like that. I have said if people are able to help and they're willing to offer accommodation when I travel to South Africa, but I have never gone. Tell me somebody here that I've gone to you and said, hey, have you got a room for these days? Can I stay at your place for these days? Can you pay for my rental, my hire? Can you buy me dinner? I've never once done that, and I never shall. I do appreciate the help, and it makes it possible for me to make these trips. But if people can't do it, then that's fine. If they don't want to do it, that's fine too. I'm very grateful. For me, it's a wonderful experience hanging out, living, staying in people's places. I really enjoy it. I thought it would be something I didn't enjoy, but in South African context, because of the way South African society is structured, it's actually been a pretty interesting experience. But I get paid in bries and rugby jerseys. Yes, Hendo, I have been paid in gifts. Here's a gift right here that was given to me. A handcrafted knife. This is amazing. It's sitting right here on my desk. We've got plenty of other gifts here. I don't have them out right now. I put them mostly up, but plenty of other gifts here, including this one here from Garrett, which got me a sympathy and let me get on the plane early from OR Tambo to Cape Town. That was pretty cool. My walking stick. Yep. That's a horn. Yep. So, people are very, very generous, but I don't ask for those things. That's why it was so annoying when that channel attacked me and lied about me on my first trip to South Africa after the COVID scam, when I went back in August 2022 and said that I was, what did they say? I was begging for money or something like that. It's so comical. The amount of money that I've spent in South Africa on my trips is shocking. It's shocking. I mean, I've had 3 trips all over 1 month long, one almost 6 weeks long, and the amount of money I spend there is something else. It's getting more and more because of the cost of the hires, and the flights just keep going up. Knife is made of, I have no idea what it's made of. Would it be labeled on here? Is it's handmade? Yeah, I don't know, but it's really good quality, incredibly sharp too. So, but I got a host of things that people give me. So, yep. But no, my point is that I didn't. Another thing I've been circumspect about too. I'm not really a big fan of doing it because it really opens the floodgates, and that's, can you raise money for this person? Can you do this? Can you do that? Because I don't know some of these people, and I don't know their genuineness. I don't know their veracity, and raising money for people is an awkward situation. If I know someone, I know they're really in need, that's a different story, but a lot of these people don't know. Well, thank you, Ants. Very kind of you to say that. Hardened Ton 58 HRC. Okay, I don't know which it is. Stainless. Oh, Garrett's saying what it is. Okay, cool. Yep. Don't need to share your... What's this? What did Fiona say? I stick to your channel when I'm not busy, only because so far the only YouTuber that doesn't bend and spread all holes for clout and etc. You speak facts in it. Yeah, no, I do. Thank you for that, Anonymous Lex, even though you've been gone for 2 years. I appreciate you being back. No, I do. I mean, what am I getting out of this? I'm not becoming wealthy. I'm not becoming famous. It's just about telling the truth. It's just about analyzing, just being honest with people, and exposing people to the world. I mean, we've talked about things on here people probably never thought. We've talked about South Tyrol on this channel. We talked about my experience in Liberia. We talked about what happens in Namibia. The list goes on and on and on. No, I thank you for that. It's very kind of you. My goal is not to incite people and to get clicks, although I would love to have 1 million viewers or 2 million viewers or 3 million viewers. That'd be great. And it'd be fantastic if I made tons of money off this channel. I would pour a lot of that money back into the channel. Every penny that I ever made off this channel has gone back into the channel and the travel and the documentaries and the equipment, and then a figure much in excess of that. Yeah, so no, it's why do I do it? It's not for being famous. I've been famous. That's not all it's cracked up to be. But I will say this. I will admit this. It is really cool when people come up to me on the street, like in Parle, and go, "You're the Colonel. You do the rugby channel." Yeah. "Can we get a selfie?" Yeah, sure, absolutely. Nice to meet you guys. Or when I'm walking down the street, "Hey, it's the Colonel. Come here, come here." It's really cool. 27 times on that last visit. I started keeping track of that stuff. And then in France, I was just gobsmacked that it was happening. When I'm walking through the fan park after South Africa's game with Romania. And I think it was South Africa's game with Romania. It was 2 games I went to back-to-back in Bordeaux to make it worthwhile for my trip. But I think one was Chile. It might have been that one, or it was South Africa game. Whatever the case is, I took the tram back downtown, went to the fan park, and I'm walking around because, you know, they've got different things. So is it here? Let me see if it's here. Anyway, it's sitting there somewhere. They have different things available at the game for sale for merchandise and at the fan park. So I went to the fan park to look for some different merchandise, and I'm walking through, and all of a sudden this guy just stops and locks his heels and, Colonel! Who the hell is this? One of my viewers who's a South African in the IT field who lives in Bordeaux. It was pretty cool. I mean, that's I have to say, that's very rewarding. But you know what I've gotten here too? During my campaign, I was out and knocking on doors and and I said, people answer the door because a lot of people don't like solicitors come try to sell them stuff, and I'm also one of those people. But I'm not rude to them. I just don't like it, especially when they interrupt my day. So I appreciate where they come from. So I knock on the door. The lady answers, said, "Ma'am, I'm not selling anything. I'm running for office, and my name is Chris Wyatt." John, get out of here. John, can you believe it? Get out of here. It's Chris Wyatt. Can you believe he came to visit us? I don't know if I got their votes, but I certainly got their attention. I spoke to them for nearly an hour that day. That was really cool. Every time Fox or CNN has a colonel, I wonder why they don't interview. Well, it's because you got to know somebody. I don't know somebody, and that's the problem. Yep. When these people were back here making a name for themselves and getting called on, I was overseas in places nobody cared about. Yep. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that either, you know. I mean, the irony is this. So which analyst has been mostly, if not always, correct about what is going on in Ukraine in the big picture, the strategic picture, who has told you the truth about it from the day that it happened, from the hours when the invasion began, who dismissed the videos saying, "Look at the Russians, they're being crucified in the eastern Donbass." No, I saw that video in 2014, dismissed it that night. Who has been correct? Who's told you this was a 3 to 5 year conflict minimum? Who told you that Russia won't collapse because they made a deal with the Chinese in January of that year before they invaded Ukraine? So the Chinese agreed to buy timber and iron and oil from Russia. Who told you that? Who also told you that China will provide top cover as a BRICS member, even though BRICS means nothing? I did. But I'm not the one invited on to Fox News. I'm not the one invited on to PMSNBC, you know, probably because I call them that. Yep. Yep. And I'm not the Russia guy. But in fact, I am. That's what's so comical. I mean, how many of these Russia guys went to university and studied politics and literature of the Soviet Union? That'd be me, the African guy. How many of these guys served in Germany during the Cold War? Well, a lot of them did. I did as well. Yeah. How many of them spent a third of their life fighting communism in Europe? Me. Maybe not a third, but close to it. Yeah. So it's funny because people see you for what they associate you with. They don't look at your whole CV. I mean, that's what's so frustrating for me, because a lot of my consulting gigs have dried up when I could be consulting about Eastern Europe, about Ukraine. The irony is that I went to Fort Carson to train the Security Assistance Force Brigade, SFAB, that's focused on Eastern Europe and that was going to Ukraine. I trained them before the invasion. The summer before the invasion, I was at Fort Carson training that force on what to expect and how it's going on in Ukraine. But I don't get the phone calls because they go, "Wyatt, Africa, nobody gives a crap." I try to see the best in people, though I'm definitely suspicious of everyone, says Charles. Go attend the Clinton Foundation meetings. They'll get you on CNN. That's probably true. Buy directly. I don't know what that is. I have 25 years experience if you ever need advice. What's that about? Oh, you bought and sold steel for Bowler. Okay. No, Grasshopper, no one's ever mistaken me for Colonel Sanders, who was not a colonel. Harlan Sanders was a fraud, just like the guy who was the manager for Elvis. Neither one of them are colonels. They just made that false claim. I'm actually a genuine colonel. Yep. Even got an ID card that claims that. It says it right here. Yep. Anyway, I have been mistaken for Santa Claus. When I was in France, it was always Père Noël, Père Noël, Père Noël, Father Christmas. It was so funny. James Boyd says, your honesty is why I watch and listen to this channel. Well, I appreciate that, James. I would also like to hope and think that people come to the channel because of the dedication I put into it and also because of the variety of things I try to bring you. I try to bring you entertainment. I bring you space with launches into space, the James Webb Space Telescope, the Starliner, the Starship kabooms. Remember those? Yes. Janie Radeball, the famed astrophysicist, on here. Also brought you entertainment. Kevin Sorbo. I get you as many of these people as I can. But it's difficult to get folks to come on. Anyway, you got to know somebody. And that's the thing. I'm not knowing anybody that's sitting here. I'd hope that by getting out to CPAC, I make some of those connections, and they were temporary. I met Dr. Malone, met Kevin Sorbo, but none of the media people wanted to associate. Also met Jenna Ellis. Jenna Ellis, and arrogantly claiming that she was misled. Listen, young lady, you're an attorney, and you were misled. You were misled by older people. Don't pull that. I'm a woman, and I'm young, and so they took advantage of me. That's a crock. That's a crock. That's what Jenna Ellis did when she betrayed Donald Trump. Yep. So anyway, yeah, but you just got to get to know. I have been on other programs. I've been on Frank TV on the Sentinel Report with Alex Newman, also on Alex's own program, on his own network, and I've been on, of course, John B. Wells, Caravan to Midnight. That's been interesting. So, yep. Anyway, the lockdown hasn't ended, Rosalind Gerber. I said I would cut the beard when the stupidity ends. It hasn't ended. It looks like I'm stuck with this beard forever. We're still dealing with this crap. A Chinese airline just finally rescinded the requirement for crew to wear a facial covering. It just happened today. And it's not just China, it's still here. We've got idiocy and lunacy going on here. So the lockdown nonsense hasn't stopped. And they're trying to re-implement it in many places. So, yep. I would love to see a clean shave. Well, here you can see me clean shaven here 4 years ago. There you go. So you can compare. 4 years ago, 2019. There you go. I put lots of pictures up with me clean shaven. But Rosalind, will you be a daily viewer if I clean shave? I'm getting desperate for views. Maybe I'll do that. Never get rid of my beard. It makes me seem Viking, according to people. Well, I look Viking too. And frankly, as tall as I am with this beard, I'm not a big guy. I mean, I'm not like Victor Matfield. It's just huge, big shoulders and big chest and big arms. I'm not that, and I'm also not obese. So with the beard and my height, it makes me look much more imposing. Yeah. Why is there a correlation between Hamas and mask wearing in 2024? Huh? Oh, okay, I got you, Chris. I got you. It's funny. Yeah. Notice the cowards are wearing masks. Yep. Smart camera. Oh, yeah, because it focused on both. Yep. You're a shorts walker. Yes, Debbie, I do wear Jarl. Ah, there you go, Anonymous. Like Jarl. That's right. A Jarl is a Viking noble. Yep, a Jarl. Yep. That's why I always love Jarlsberg cheese. Jarlsberg, yep. I am a shorts walker. That is correct. Yeah. I'll tell you, though, folks, you know what's crazy? I got stuck in a TikTok loop the other day. The other day I was, and if you're in any of the groups, you probably saw me forwarding TikTok videos. I just got in a loop the other day, and it all comes down to that Barbara song. Good God. That's the thing. Let me see if I can find one real quick. It's so quick they show up on TikTok, but let me see if I can find one here real quick. Come on. Where's it at? That's not what I wanted. Come on. All right, so let me get to the TikTok, and hopefully I can find one without getting a copyright thing. So let me see real quick. The Barbara song, it's a rap song in German. Come on. This freaking song is an earworm, man. It's an ohrwurm. It is absolutely stuck in my head along with millions of other people. And all these people are doing dances for the Barbara song. It's too funny, man. You guys, if you don't know this song, it's been around for like 4 months, but it just took off. Barbara's Rhubarb. Yeah, Barbara Rhubarb lyrics, man. Okay. German tongue twister. My goodness. What is the Barbara's Rhubarb bar song on TikTok? It's about a woman named Barbara who makes an abnormally good rhubarb pie that people across the country have heard of. It's too funny, man. Oh, my goodness. Where's it at? Ja, Barbara Text. In einem kleinen Dorf wohnte einst ein Mädchen mit dem Namen Barbara. Barbara war in der ganzen Gegend für ihren ausgezeichneten Rhubarberkuchen bekannt. Da jeder so gerne Barbaras Rhubarberkuchen abnannte, die sie I can't even say it. Rhubarb. Rhabarbara merkte, dass sie mit ihrem Rhubarberkuchen Geld verdienen könnte. Daher eröffnete sie eine Bar, die Rhabarbara Bar. Oh my gosh. Natürlich gab es in der Rhabarbara Bar bald Stammkunden. Die bekanntesten unter ihnen 3 Barbaran. Die kamen so oft in die Rhabarbara, um die Rhabarberkuchen zu essen, dass man sie kurz die Rhabarbara nannte. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Und die Nachfrage danach erstarkte drastisch. Barbara eröffnete noch im selben Jahr eine Bar und nannte sie Barbaras Rhabarberbar.
Barbara's Rhabarberbar. It's too funny, man. Oh my goodness, you've got to watch it, man. It's on TikTok. I think somebody's put it on YouTube too. Yeah, it's... oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This meant that music has played a big part in most viral videos. What's this? Yeah, so anyway. The original TikTok video, which was seen over 19.5 million times, was created by German musician comedian Bodo Vodka. Although Vodka did not invent the lyrics to the tongue twister, he made it his own by making it into a catchy rap song, which he performed with Marty Fischer. It's hilarious, man. German tongue twister. Several viewers have argued the two men rapping the song sound a lot like Dog of Wisdom, a viral meme from 2015. As the rap went viral, several TikTok users have used the sound in their own videos where they're seen dancing and lip syncing along with the catchy tune. One person has duetted with a video in her wrote in her video, "Sir, I don't know what you're saying, but you have my full attention." Another person is seen drawing some doodling along with the beat. She wrote, "POV, you're working and hear this German rap about a lovely woman named Barbara who makes a great rhubarb pie." As the song or tongue twister is in German, most people who have come across a TikTok have no idea what it's about. Well, I know what it's about. TikTok user Color Talksy has made an animated video with the lyrics to the song. Yeah, anyway, so you just TikTokers make the viral Barbara song into a dance trend. Indeed. Barbara. Oh, that song has something else in it. It is absolutely something else. Yep.
Eine geradezu magische Erfahrung war. Abracadabra. Ja, dieser Kuchen war geradezu bombastisch.
Dieser Kuchen war gerade so bombastisch. It just blew up. It was... Oh, you got to check it out, folks. You got to check it out. Oh, you got to check it out. That is just too funny. The Barbara song. Yikes. Good stuff, eh? Good stuff. Yep, that is a great song. Let me see if I can find another one here. So that the people are just, I mean, there's so many of these things.
Did you know that as... Oh, warum war... Abracadabra. Ja, dieser Kuchen war geradezu bombastisch.
Give me the link. Well, I haven't done one yet. I was thinking about doing one too, but it's such a tongue twister. Also, ich kann ja Deutsch einfach, ja, schon über 30 Jahren habe ich Deutsch gesprochen, aber dieses Lied ist ja nicht einfach. Das ist ja eigentlich die drücken, ja, kommt's da. Ja, Französisch auch. Yeah, I can speak German. I understand it completely. This is a tongue twister that I'm having a challenge with. So, ba-ba-ra, it's just too funny. But these women, so many women are doing this all over. I've seen Norwegians and Swedes and people all over the world doing this thing. They don't even know what they're saying, but they're doing it very well. They must practice. I saw one where they said, we practiced for 4 hours. I mean, it's hilarious. I'm not spending 4 hours to make a video with that, but it is just too funny. Let me see if I can't find it on YouTube. Barbara's Arababar. Man, that is something else. Barbara's rhubarb pie. Yeah, let me see. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. YouTube. Let's see if it's on YouTube. And that is the other night I just like every for my you page kept coming. There it is. All right, 4.7 million views on YouTube. But we don't want the dance one. We want the original mix. So this is the one from 3 months ago, 3.2 million. But TikTok, it's blowing up on. Yeah, so let me give you the YouTube link here. So let me see.
Es war einmal in einem kleinen Städtchen, da lebte ein Mädchen namens Barbara.
Yeah, let me give you the link on that. I'm probably going to get a lot of copyright claims on this video. I hope not. So where the heck is... Come on. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. That's why. Okay, that's not what I want. I want this. So here we go. So here's the link, folks. That's the video, and you can see the two dudes on there. It's so funny. I'll bring it up on the screen real quick, and so you know what you're looking for, okay? But I can't play much of it because I'm sure we'll get a copyright claim. So here it is. So here they are. These are the two dudes who sing this song. It's such a tongue twister. I know Germans would have a hard time with it. Here we go.
Und diese Barbara war im ganzen Land für ihren abartig guten Rhabarberkuchen bekannt. Ja, man konnte sagen, dass Barbaras
Whoops, I was trying to pause it, yeah. Yeah, man könnte sagen.
You won't notice.
Stop that. I'm going to get a freaking Pink Panther copyright claim. Yeah, that is just such a funny thing, man. That is so hilarious. Anyway, yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right, so, yeah, Voldemort challenge accepted. What's this? What is this Voldemort challenge? Yes, and that song is something else. I'm telling you, man. It's and all these chicks dancing to it. They're teaming up now. It was a single, but now they're doing doubles.
Die Nachfolge danach erstarkte drastisch. Barbara eröffnete noch im selben Jahr eine Bar und nannte sie Barbaras Rhabarberbar.
Those two are pretty good. Not all of them are. This that German tongue twister makes me babbleless. Yeah, Barbara. That is a tongue twister, man. In einem kleinen Dorf wohnte einst ein Mädchen mit dem Namen Barbara. Barbara war in der ganzen Gegend für ihren ausgezeichneten Rhubarberkuchen bekannt. Da jeder so gerne Barbaras Rhubarberkuchen I can't say, rhubarb has never been something I could say in German. Nannte man sie Rhabarbara. Rhabarbara merkte bald, dass sie mit ihrem Rhubarberkuchen Geld verdienen könnte. Daher öffnete sie eine Bar, die Rhabarberbar. Natürlich gab es in der Rhabarberbar bald Stammkunden. Die bekanntesten unter ihnen 3 Barbaran. So in a small village lived a girl named Barbara. Barbara was known throughout the entire area for her famous, outstanding rhubarb cake or pie. So everyone loved her rhubarb pie so much they called her Rhubarb Barbara. Rhubarb Barbara noticed quickly that with her rhubarb cake, rhubarb pie, she could make money. So then she opened a rhubarb pie bar. Doesn't work in English. Naturally, there were suddenly valued customers in her Barbara's rhubarb bar. The most well-known of them, among them, were 3 named Barbara. They came so often to her Rhubarb Barbara bar to eat Rhubarb Barbara's rhubarb pies. That man shortly started saying Rhubarb Barbara's. It's too much, man. It's too much. Anyway, you gotta love it. I'm sorry. I've been enjoying that one. That's been pretty funny lately. So it's just killing me, man. It's killing me. Oh my goodness, good stuff. How did we get to here? I want to get back where I was at. What is this Amish? What's this nonsense? I want the rhubarb thing. There we go. Let me jump ahead a little bit there.
Die hatten von Barbaras Rhabarberbar erfahren. Und da sie fortan jeden Tag bei Barbara waren, nannte man sie bald die Rhabarberbarbaren.
It's too much. I used to follow another South African. YouTube was fluent in German and French. Ja, das hätte ich nicht gewusst. Hätte ich das gewusst, dann werde ich einfach mit Ihnen sprechen. Ja, es gibt ja Gelegenheit, Deutsch zu sprechen, aber selten heutzutage, weil ich bin nicht in Deutschland, sondern hier in Pennsylvania. Und es gibt nicht viele in der Gegend, die Deutsch sprechen können. Ja, das ist ein Problem. Aber die Barbaras, Oh, you gotta go listen to it, folks. Even if you don't speak German, you'll find it entertaining. And these guys it rolls right off their tongue so smoothly. Yep, that's just so funny there. Anyway, there you have it. Rhubarb pie. Thanks for the awesome stream. Yeah, you got to duck. Well, I think we're all going to duck here in a moment. This is my third stream of the day, and I'm knackered. Need to take a break, get something to eat, refuel the batteries, recharge them. And then maybe play a little bit of Hearts of Iron 3. I got it to work again. I don't know how I did that, but it's sort of working. Thoughts on Chappaquiddick? By the way, Brett, my apologies for missing your super chat in that interview with Neil DeBeer, or was it with Athol Trollop? I apologize for that, but I couldn't get to it. Can't blame Shell for leaving South Africa. Neither can I, Brett. Neither can I. I don't blame them. Anybody who makes me give my equity up to people based on pigmentation is a racist, and I don't play with racists. No, thank you. It was Athol Trollop, so I apologize for that, Brett. Have a good one. Auntie Fiona, says Hester Kutza. Okay. You're all very welcome. The Germans do have a sense of humor, the rhubarb barbarians. That's right, the rhubarb barbarians. Barbara. Oh, man. I'm telling you, honestly, I drained my battery from like 93% down to like 18%. Just flipping through TikTok the other night. I was tired and didn't feel like doing anything. I was lying on the couch and just going through all these things. And in For You page, my FYP, I just kept getting so many of these Barbara things. And some of these girls, there's guys doing it too, but they're not as entertaining. Some of the girls doing it are very good at the dance. It's pretty funny. Anyway, hands above the sheets, you know. Yeah, no, Brett, I always address your questions, but I apologize for it. Thank you for the super chat, though. It was much appreciated. 71 likes, that's all we got, man. Can we get some Rhubarb Barbara bar likes here? Rhubarb Barbara bars. Rhubarb Barbara's bar, which was visited by 3 girls named Barbara. And these known Barbaras became known as a Rhubarb Barbara bar. It's too much. All right, that's it, folks. I'm going to take a break. You guys take care. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I don't have a guest on yet, but we'll be with Ronaldo, hopefully tomorrow. Plus my radio program tomorrow night. I do a medical point in the afternoon, but that doesn't affect any of you. And then I've got Dr. Corne Mulder on Thursday, so we'll set that up soon. In 74 to the 80s, TV was German in South Africa. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Did not know that. Oh, the reason I started with that Barbara thing before I go is that in TikTok, they keep doing these reaction videos to the Bee Gees. Let me see if I can find one of those. You come to me on a summer breeze.
Hi. If you're looking...
Okay, so
Come on.
You know how much... Helmani cups of sugar.
You should. These girls are good.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Sorry. I was trying to find the tributes to the Bee Gees. Anyway. Assholes we got on this ship anyways. Spaceballs. Rick Moranis. Too funny. Anyway. That's why he brought up Chappaquiddick. What are my thoughts on Chappaquiddick? Ted Kennedy is responsible in negligent manslaughter for the death of Joanne Kopechne. Yeah, he's responsible, and he got away with it because they're rich and connected people. They get away with all kinds of crimes. Yep, especially Democrats. But yeah, I have no doubt that based on the information circumstances provided, that his actions led to her death. Whether he meant to kill her is another story. I'm sure he's just screwing around. He had too much to drink, like many sauces did back in the day, drinking while driving, or drunk driving, and that's what led to her death, and he got away with it. Bee Gees are Aussies. Yes, they are. Well, technically, they're English. They were born in England and moved to Australia, if I'm not mistaken, just like Olivia Newton-John was born in England and moved there. So, yep. There you go. All right, folks. Amadeus. Oh, don't me start on that. Er war so populär. Er war ein Superstar. Amadeus. Oh, what a great song. Boy, Falco went before his time at the age of 40, dying in a traffic accident by driving into a bus in Costa Rica. So sad. Amadeus lyrics in German. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Here we go. Falco, Rock Me Amadeus. That was great, man. It was a fantastic song. It was the movie, whatever, but the song was great. I don't want the Rock Me Amadeus in English. I want the, here we go. War ein Punker und lebte in der großen Stadt. Es war in Wien, war Vienna, wo alles tat. Hatte Schulden, denn trank, doch ihn liebten alle Frauen. Und jeder rief, komm und rock me Amadeus. War ein Superstar, war populär, excuse me. War so exaltiert, because hatte Flair. War ein Virtuoso, war ein Rock-Ideal. Und alles rief, komm und rock me Amadeus. Oh, man. Es war 1780 und es war in Wien. No plastic money anymore, die Banken gegen ihn. Woher die Schulden kamen, war wohl jedermann bekannt. War ein Mann der Frauen. Frauen liebte seinen Punk. Rock Me Amadeus. Oh, man, what a great... Got to stop it there. I'm sure we get a copyright claim for that. Yeah, Falco, man. He was the original rapper. The original rapper was Falco. Yep. What a shame. Amadeus. All right, that's it. Cheers, everybody. Catch you later. He was a trailblazer. Falco was amazing. I had all of his albums. Unfortunately, there aren't that many of them because he died at the age of 40. But the fame was a lot for him. It was tough. And that's why I went off to Costa Rica and unfortunately drove his vehicle into a bus and died. ACDP live stream. Okay, Brett. I didn't know they had one. Roxette is coming to South Africa. Wow, that's cool. All right, guys, take care. I got to get something to eat. My head's getting light. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button. Bye-bye.